why did I work with the clown thing? It had come from doing a show, a very proud show in Cork Street in London on Don Quixote, and I found at the end of that show, despite the fact that the show seemed to go very well, the dealers were not prepared to pay. It got very complicated, and in the end I did get my money. So all things considered, I got my money and it was all settled, but not without a lot of stress and a lot of challenge. So because at that stage in Europe I was sort of masquerading different modes of painting, and once I got out of that I thought, oh, this is a joke. The whole thing of being an artist in this situation is very fraught. It's really like you become a busker in a sense, where you're trying to just sing for your supper, and knowing that your audience may or may not approve, they may or may not honour you, they may or may not pay you. It's a kind of fraught world, and that there's no difference between me as an artist in Europe, busking my way through the streets of London, Venice, Amsterdam, Germany, whatever, and a clown. I'm a clown. I've become a clown. This is a joke. So I thought, right, okay, that sets, so now I can do a whole body of work because I had the circumstances to be able to continue painting for a while, thanks to Arthur Boyd, who'd given me a residence in one of his houses and a studio to continue working. So that meant that I had a relatively stable base. I didn't have a lot of money, but I had a stable base from which I could just then go produce. So I thought, clown, yes, the clown. So for the next, 3 or 4 years, I guess, I went to circuses, I went to visit clowns, I went to clown museums, I went to galleries, any galleries that were showing themes to do with the circus. I researched the whole representation of the clown from, that body of work's entitled La Commedia Del Arte because it was the Italians that first began a certain tradition of the clown, where they have certain key characters, Harlequin, Columbine, Pierrot, the various captains. They sort of nominated the sorts of psychological types that you get in this clowning routine. And these modes they're very much what's drifted up through, I think of Les Enfants du Paradis, Jean-Louis Barrault, the great mime who inspired Marcel Marceau to do Bip. So Bip comes out of the Pierrot tradition, and Jean-Louis Barrault's, can I think of the name of his character? I can't, but it is a Pierrot figure. So there you get the white clown, the silent clown, the mime. It goes to mime, the mute clown, the one who has no voice, who just moves, the eyes and sees everything. The Harlequin figure with the Harlequinade costume, whose partner is Columbine, he's quite a wicked figure. He's very worldly. Pierrot is unworldly. The moon, the dream, and so on. Whereas Harlequin's very worldly. He wants the money. He wants the sex. He wants the action. He needs your attention now. He's got a stick. Whacks you. He gives rise to the more contemporary versions of the clown, which the clown's often kind of wicked figure. They get their attention by causing trouble, usually. So during that period, I just went to circuses all the time. I'd go to any associated circus, the Circus of Horrors, the Goth Circus, the busking circuses, the clowns, the ringmasters, fantastic stuff, really. And so between the history of the clown and its representation in art, and the actual clown, and I could then take clowning routines and clowning types and use that as a masquerade for my own, I suppose, humanistic, philosophic concerns about my predicament. So there's that. That's what inspired or led to the next, from 95 to 98, working on the clown.